Good afternoon. This is Laura Belanger from the National Weather Service with your weekly weather briefing for the week beginning today, Thursday, June 22nd, 2023. So we've had a pretty wet week. I'm sure that none of you out there would have to be told that. Fortunately, we've got nicer conditions coming up this weekend. We do have some low rain chances that return Sunday to parts of the state with a cold front passing through on Monday, and that'll bring us our next best shot of rainfall Monday and into early Tuesday morning. And then next week, we've got northwest flow that really resumes over the area. It could allow for some additional precip chances to be ushered into our state as we're on the east side of a high pressure ridge, but in general, the rain chances are generally low. So this is what's out there currently right now. So we've been dealing with this persistent low pressure system that's been centered over the state. That is beginning to lift to the northeast today. And so we're starting to see low rainfall chances, a little bit lower coverage in our rainfall for this afternoon. And then we've got quite a bit of dry air that's starting to make its way into our lower level of the atmosphere. So what you're looking at here on the far left, we've got our satellite imagery, also our flash density there for depicting where those thunderstorms are. In the middle graphic, you're seeing a loop of our water vapor. So this is in the lower level, and it's pretty similar in those middle and upper levels as well. And then on the far right, this is our current radar coverage for this afternoon. So quite a bit lower than what we've been seeing the last few days, but still seeing some of that convective development with the afternoon warming of the atmosphere. Now, as far as our rainfall totals that we've seen already this week, this is a rough estimate of what we've been seeing over the area. And so there are some higher pockets of rainfall totals above 4 inches. You can see through portions of middle Georgia and onto that east side near the Athens area. The 4 to 6 inch range was pretty standard in those areas. But the highest amount was actually down in the southeast portions of the state, based on where this map cutoff is, and it's at the 6 to 8 inch range. And some of the metro area got really lucky, only about a half to 1 inch of rainfall since Monday, but still it's been fairly wet and also very cloudy, and so we're welcoming the sunshine today and into this weekend with some lower rainfall amounts expected into next week. Now we do have for today's activity, there is an excessive rainfall outlook with the slight risk area issued by the Weather Prediction Center there, still including portions of the southeast CWA. And as far as the expected rainfall amounts as we get through the day tomorrow, where we still have some low chances of storms to develop, it does look like maybe at best the highest amounts would be, maybe an inch, maybe a little over an inch, but most of the area should be seeing under a quarter of an inch of additional rainfall on top of what we've already seen this week. Any storms today, if they train over a particular area or have a heavy downpour quickly, because we've been primed, it could lead to localized flash flooding or flooding of low-lying areas. But typically we would just see that in the higher terrain of North Georgia or in that far east Georgia portions. Now, just as a reminder, we do still have a flood watch out that does go through the day tomorrow. Don't be surprised if we see some adjustments to this area as we start to reevaluate that dry air coming into the state and really trying to tailor this more towards areas that are still expecting a higher level of flash flooding in the next 24 hours or so. So it's, there is a small possibility this could be canceled altogether depending on how things are looking, but it's more likely you would see a county or two start being chipped away from this in the coming hours. Now, as far as the Storm Prediction Center's severe weather outlook for this afternoon, we do just have a marginal risk, so that level 1 of 5 down there in the southeastern counties. We can't rule out the threat of lightning, some possibility of damaging winds or small hail, and again, that underlying localized heavy rainfall threat. Now, as far as our weekend rainfall chances go, you can really see that dry air moving in and the impact of that on Saturday, where most of the area should really not be seeing much in the way of rainfall at all. And that's more the same on Sunday. Any rainfall chances we see Sunday should be a little bit later in the day with an approaching cold front. And so you can see those higher rainfall chances there in the northeast portions of the state. And again, that's still just a 20 to 30% chance. Now, looking out into next week, we do have a cold front, as I mentioned, that begins to approach the area. So we start seeing higher rainfall chances over the area on Monday, and then it will quickly sweep through the state, and those rainfall chances really do quickly end through the day on Tuesday. Now, on the top right graphic, you're seeing there, that's the rainfall totals for days 4 and 5. So most of the area should see, a half inch, maybe the highest amounts up over North Georgia, closer to an inch of rainfall. But it seems much more manageable than what we've been seeing the last few days. And our Storm Prediction Center outlook for that time frame is really too low at this point to indicate any chances of severe weather. And luckily, in an active weather pattern, this should quickly move through and we sort of resume more seasonal conditions across the state. The 7-day total of rainfall, if we're looking at that now from the Weather Prediction Center, it's showing that most of the area could see 1 to 2 inches, elsewhere maybe half to 1 inch. Now, most of this rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours or that frontal passage there Monday and Tuesday, with the rest of the time frame being really limited as far as your rainfall accumulations. Now, as far as your temperature and rainfall chances through the next 7 days, this nice graphic here is showing several of our locations in a tabular format, and it does go Thursday to Thursday, and you can see these are the 6-hour temperatures. So our low temperatures really through the weekend are quite nice in the 60s over much of the area. By Monday, with the influence of that additional rainfall chances ahead of that cold front passage, we do look like maybe not quite so low. And then, returning to more seasonal conditions there on the backside of that cold front. It looks like right now the warmest days could be Sunday and then Wednesday and Thursday. And the rainiest day, of course, as we've been discussing, is going to be Monday and Tuesday, especially Monday night into early Tuesday morning. Now, just to kind of take a quick look at the tropical weather, given that we do have something out there that we're watching, Tropical Storm Brett looks to stay away from us, not have much of an impact. It's expected to gradually weaken through Saturday night, maybe early Sunday, as it starts to approach the Western Caribbean Sea. No other tropical concerns, particularly for us in the southeast U.S. And taking a quick look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, it looks like below normal temperatures might be the trend there as we get into the June 27th through July 1st timeframe up in northeast Georgia, with maybe above normal temperatures there in the southwest portions of the state and near normal conditions everywhere else. And thankfully, our rainfall chances look to be more normal during this time frame, with maybe just above normal temperatures there in the northern counties, northeastern counties. So definitely a welcome change. So again, for the highlights, we've got a nicer weekend expected. We do have rain chances returning kind of late in the day, Sunday, as the cold front approaches, as it passes through the state on Monday, and then those chances really beginning to taper off early Tuesday morning. And next week, we've got northwest flow. Being on that eastern side of a high pressure ridge, we could see some developing precip chances approach, especially as we get into next week. But right now, rain chances are generally low and not something that we need to be concerned about as far as rainfall. If you have any questions for us or you'd like to reach out to us, please feel free to contact us. And our next briefing will be next week on Thursday, and we'll be glad to see you join us then as well. Have a great day.